We've been sailing the seven seas and making dog-related puns.
We've been playing Pugly Pirates.
Hi, I'm Julian and this is Libby and we're from BoxedMeeples.
Today we are talking about Pugly Pirates. This on this strapline says, a dogged game of digging, deception and doo-doo. In this one, you are travelling around islands and revealing events. You are trying to bury some treasure, maybe even have some ship fights as well. So if you like pirates and you like dogs, this is one for you.
So without further ado, let's talk about our 5 reasons why we really enjoyed playing this pirate dog related game. Now we've seen quite a lot of pirate-based board games over the years. We've also seen quite a lot of dog games recently, but I don't think I've seen the fusion of dog-pirate games before.
Absolutely not.
And this game has got a fantastic sense of humour. It's ideal for family-related fun. So you'll be moving around dog crouples around the board.
Muttley Crue.
Muttley Crouples.
Muttley Crouples.
You'll be visiting Doggy Jones's locker. You'll be meeting Robinson Shih Tzu. And of course, these dogs like to chow down on some grog food. So yeah, it has a really great kind of sense of humour about it. Really fun feeling when you're playing this game.
Yeah, they've really gone in for like trying to blend those two things together. I think one of the characters is even called Black Jack Russell.
And I think that separates it out from other games you
Yeah.
see like this, and it really plays into that theme. So all the things you're doing are also obviously dog related. So you're burying your bones as you visit the islands, and obviously you're having dog scraps and you're marking your territory.
Yes.
And I think the lesson
Hence
about
the
that,
doo-doo.
the better.
So at the beginning of each round, there's a sort of map event, and that will change what's going on. And also, as you meet each new island, at the beginning of the game, you'll find 2 event cards, and then once those have been used up, each time you come to an island without any events, you'll be turning over a new card with something fun and different happening. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but they really keep the game moving and lots of different things going on. Which I think is really key to kind of the flow of this game and the choices that you often have between kind of going that little bit further and being able to move to 2 islands, but potentially sort of almost push it up to seeing what's there. Maybe there'll be some sugarcane, which is often quite the pricey one if you can get to it. Or maybe ending up having a bad card. There's some really good choices there between what you're actually going to do with your actions. And those cards could be a shark, a kraken, or you could be picking up something nice like New Crew.
Yeah, it's the kind of unexpected element that you're going to have throughout the game. And some of these cards actually remain through the game.
Mm-hmm.
So you might discover an interesting dog island resident, and if you don't choose to have him to your crew, he's going to be there for someone else to discover. If you take on the tradesmen and use their benefit, that's going to affect you in a future turn as well. And similarly, if there's a trade ship turns up, that's going to be there for the remainder of the game until it's defeated.
Wow.
So it's not just going to be a benefit that helps you or a challenge that affects you, it's going to affect everyone else in the game as the game progresses.
And that trade ship's going to give you a victory point.
Keep an eye on it.
So you may notice a Muttley Crue right here. Someone was making a little bit too much noise with their toys, so are now having some cuddle time.
Kind of feels remarkably appropriate for a dog-based game. But it doesn't mind, there's different ways you can play this game. Maybe not holding a dog. And that different approaches allow you to kind of vary your play style.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 different ways you can score victory points. There's the kind of aforementioned trade ship. You can attack it, destroying that will get you a point.
Or another opponent.
Or yeah, you can just be really aggressive. Ramp up your ship, get really strong in certain areas and take on other opponents. And they're going to get you a victory point if you're going to be successful in that. Alternatively, you can just go around marking your territory, trying to leave people on different islands to kind of get those victory points, having 2 of those.
Mm-hmm. But that's tough because there's 6 crew, isn't there?
Yeah,
so
and it's about managing that kind of crew, because obviously they're going to give you bonus movement the more crew you have.
Yeah.
You're going to be sacrificing potential future movement by getting rid of those. Of course, doggy pirates love to bury bones, so that's going to get you a victory point as well. But that's tricky to do because you can't do that until you've therefore sold enough to get the bones to bury in the first place. And it's risky because other people can see you burying your bones and they're going to bring their ship over and dig them up and swap your victory point for their victory point.
And of course, you've got that balance between what you're spending your bones on. Do you keep them to be able to bury them, or do you want to use them to expand your ship, to buy new things, to be able to sort of essentially upgrade what your sort of abilities in terms of agility, strength, luck, all of that kind of thing? So there really is some good decisions to make in terms of what balance of those victory points you're going for.
You might think, with dogs, is this going to be a pirate game? But all the kind of hallmarks, all the things you expect from a pirate game are in this game.
100%.
You're there, you're plundering treasure, you're taking it on to sell, you're having battles on the high seas, and you've obviously got those events going on. So it does feel like an incredibly piratey pirate dog game.
And when the events come up, like there are things like, oh, some coconuts have washed ashore. So it always reminds you in terms of the themes and things that are happening on the cards. Yeah, we're at sea and we're traveling around these islands. It is piratey. All the puns are doggy.
Now, any good captain of any ship will know your ship is only so big, and you can actually upgrade the ship by spending 5 bones to make yourself a bigger vessel. But then you have the option of, where do I put my cannons? How much space do I actually need for the bits and pieces I'm going to procure on the islands? And there's a kind of sense of resource management you have to do. Even ways of, do I get an upgrade that's the same price for a parrot, but that's not going to take a space on my board? And you start having to really think about how you're tactically going to play, and also how you're going to manipulate your ship to make that worthwhile.
Yeah, you're wanting to increase, obviously, your strength, your agility, and your luck in order that you can do more later on. You're needing space on your boat to hold these cannons that will give you those upgrades, but you also need space for your bones. And if you want to bury those bones, then you've got to be taking, 3 spaces around the islands in order to be able to bury them somewhere. And you can't bury in the same place. So you can't just sort of whiz back and forward. You've got to keep moving and keep progressing on, which is, that's developing new movement cards, new events on every island, different things are happening. So you've really got to sort of think about, what space have I got on my boat? How am I going to manage that? What's my goal for this next turn in terms of, am I going to go and bury those bones, or have I just seen someone else do something great that I can try and scupper them from winning? All those kind of things are going on. It's really, really got a lot to offer.
The design of the game is really clever because it does force you to actually move around. You can't get the same victory points on the same island, so you really do have to progress around the board. That kind of sense of sailing the 7 seas really does come across as you play the game.
Yeah. So this is a family weight game. It says 10 plus on the box, and we played it with a 9-year-old, so close enough, and they really enjoyed it. It has the option to have like a co-op style mode, so I think potentially if you did have slightly younger children that were into those sorts of themes, that might be a good mode to start with them. And if you like co-op games, then that mode's there. Also a solo variant. It also has the option to have a short game or a long game. So it really is variable in terms of who you're playing it with, how much of a piratey battle you're looking to have, and whether the attention spans of who you're playing with or not are there. If you need it to be like a filler game between something else that you're playing that day, then obviously you can choose a shorter one, or something a little bit longer. But we found about sort of 40-ish minutes.
Yeah.
For another game that we've
because you can scale it right back, so you only have to get 3 victory points, and to be honest, that's going to happen really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we did play one game that we were luckily playing to 5, just the 2 of us, to see how it played 2 versus sort of 4 as a family style, and almost if we'd gone with 3, you potentially, I mean, you wouldn't have actually won the trade ship, but there would have been the potential for you to have won it within just a couple of turns.
Yes. And that was a lovely turn of events, but it does happen. What I would recommend for if you're intended to play as a duel is obviously play it first so you understand it, because the rulebook makes it sound, it covers a lot of eventualities, but its core is a very simple game, and it's a case of really just explaining to a child, these are your options, you go here, here, and here with this movement.
Yeah.
And it does seem quite daunting at the very start when you have to kind of work out what upgrades you're going to get.
Yeah.
But once you've explained what these do, when you actually start playing the game, it all seems kind of immediately familiar.
Yeah.
And it's worth noting, if you despise cats, in the co-op mode and the solo mode, you're actually competing against evil pirate cats.
So Measley Moggy.
So that might sway your opinion on how great this game is.
So that's been 5 reasons why we've enjoyed playing Pugly Pirates, and we hope that it's helped you decide whether it might be the game for you and your family too.
Yeah, this game is now available on Kickstarter, so if you're interested in it, there'll be a link down below to that campaign, and we'd highly recommend you look into it if you like dog-related pirate shenanigans.
Woo. Of course, if you've enjoyed this video, we would love it if you would subscribe to the channel, maybe like it, give us a comment. Have you played any doggy pirate games before, or what did you think of this one? If you have questions, of course, we're more than happy to answer them.
And thank you as much for watching.
Bye!